Lights dim, low screens aglow. TOYG takes us where dreams flow. Action heroes, villains, dark night. Every scene, heart still light.
Hey up, it's Steve from the Old Yorkshire Geek, and welcome to episode 142 of Magnificent Mondays. I'm a bit later than normal. We're live at 10 p.m. UK time this week. I've had a busy day, so I have to be a bit later tonight. But anyway, welcome to the show. This week, we're going to be doing a breakdown review because it's happy July the 4th weekend to all my American chums over there. Hope you've had a glorious and safe weekend. But this week we're going to be breaking down and reviewing Independence Day Resurgence, the sequel to the 1996 film. And it is a lot of fun. It got a huge pasting. A lot of people hated it. It got nicknamed like Resurgence and stuff like that. I think it's a good film. I like it. I enjoy it. But anyway, Justin's here saying hello, Justin, and Keith from Retro Nerd Girls channel is here, just stopping by, he says. And Justin says, it is fun, it is. But anyway, before we get started, don't forget to like and subscribe, share the videos, drop a comment, hit the notification bell if you're subscribed already. We're live on YouTube, let me double check. Yes, we are. We're live on YouTube. We're live on Rumble as well. Yes, we are. Not on Twitch, don't do Twitch anymore. Justin wants the part 3. Yes, I wouldn't mind it, because spoilers, they set it up, kind of set it up. I'll leave it open for a part 3. And they were going to do one, weren't they? They had plans for it, but this film kind of bombed. But anyway, where were we? All right, explore the description. Where are we? There we go. Explore the description for links for stuff like merch and me books. I haven't put anything on them, have I? I hope I haven't. No, I haven't. Right. My books, Silent Predator, short horror novel about genetically engineered. I can't speak. Genetically engineered big cats eating people in the North Yorkshire village. Mercury Rapids, light-hearted sci-fi action adventure about UFOs and stuff like that. An Amazon Kindle and paperback. Bit of fun. Give them a whirl. Right. What else? Also links for my social medias and all that's Facebook, Instagram, X and all that stuff. Also my Patreon and Spotify. And I've just noticed the Twitch icon is there, isn't it? Ignore that. What it says, Spotify, Patreon. And become a member and you get early access videos and exclusive videos and stuff like that. Emojis in the chat, whatever. And I'm sweating cobs, as we say over here. It's getting warm again. It's getting warm again. So I've got all my fans going and I'm sweat. I can feel the sweat running down my back. But anyway, is that it? Yes. So, right. Independence Day Resurgence from 2016. Let's talk about that. Written by, directed by Roland Emmerich, who's one of my favourite directors. I think I've liked every one of his films I've seen. I haven't seen all of his films. I haven't seen Anonymous. I'm not sure if I've seen Moon 44. I might have seen parts of it, but I don't think I've sat and watched it all the way through. Written by, came from a story by Dean Devlin and Roland Emmerich and some other people. Stars, some of the cast from the original are back. We've got Jeff Goldblum, Bill Pullman, Judd Hirsch, and Vivica A. Fox is in it briefly. But also stars Liam Hemsworth, who I think is really good. I like Liam Hemsworth in this. He's very charismatic. He's charismatic. Not as charismatic as his brother Chris, but, he's fine. I don't know how to pronounce this. Micah Munro. I don't know. She replaces. I forgot her name now. That played the president's daughter in the first one. Replaces her. And Usher, Jesse Usher, is in it as well, and other people. William Fichtner, Charlotte Gainsborough, and all that stuff. And music not by David Arnold. Great score in the original film by David Arnold. This time we've got music by Thomas Wonder and Harold Closer. And you know what? You don't notice it in the film until the end, and then they go back to the David Arnold theme for the climax. That's the only time I noticed the music in the film, to be completely honest. But anyway, at the budget of 165 million, box office of 389 million. So I imagine they said, it was mildly successful, but technically it wasn't. It lost money. But anyway, never mind. I think it's good. I enjoy it. It's not as good as the original, but it's fine. Justin says, get that AC. I know, but they're expensive. Little, portable air conditioning units you can buy. They're expensive. Can't afford one. I've got my little rinky-dink one where you just put a bit of water in, it just blows air over you. I've got that there. But anyway, Justice says it needed Will Smith. If he was in it, would have made more money. I imagine it would. And they wanted him. They wrote the original script with him in mind. More adventures for his character. But he was locked into doing Suicide Squad, and I presume he couldn't get out of it. And I'm sure I've seen an interview somewhere. They said, if it wasn't for Suicide Squad, it'd have been in this film, but they had to rewrite this movie and basically kill off his character because they couldn't. I suppose they couldn't just say he's not around to kill him off. Oh, excuse me, I'm burping already. Let's have a drink. But anyway, right. So we'll get on with it, shall we? We'll get on with it. We're not going to just watch the film, obviously, because YouTube will go mental and get copyright. No, they just take the stream down. I probably will get copyright claims. Saying that, though, there's not been too bad recently. But anyway. So we're going to watch it in a series of stills. I'm trying to remember what I've gleaned from the audio commentary and the behind-the-scenes stuff that's on the Blu-ray. It's the 3D Blu-ray as well. I haven't watched this in 3D. I can't on my PS5 because for some reason PS5s don't, and this isn't a 3D telly anyway, but never mind. PS5s don't handle 3D Blu-rays, but PS4s do. So I might take it upstairs one day and watch it on my 3D telly in my bedroom. Justin says, I would make 3 and have him return. Maybe like he was abducted and didn't crash. Well, and nobody really dies, do they? In this film, I don't think Vivica Fox died. Dylan's mother. Who was a stripper in the first film. Not a stripper, an exotic dancer in the first film. In this one, somehow she's become a hospital administrator / doctor. Anyway. But she's supposed to die in this. But I imagine that when we get to that bit, I'll tell you what I think happened. Because it's not as far-fetched as what happens to other characters. Anyway, just is done with Sony. Well, a lot of people are. I think they'll change their mind, and I think Microsoft will as well, about all this doing away with physical releases. I think they'll change their mind. But anyway, right, so I shall pop myself over yonder. There I go. And we'll get on with it, shall we? I've got to change this, haven't I? Yawning already. It's past my bedtime. Because I'm a very old man. I might add it to the stage. And there we go. There it is. Right, off we go. Off we jolly well. There we go. Good old 20th Century Fox logo. Bring it. Just get the name Fox back, Disney. There it is. Anywho, we begin when it's ready. Oh, we haven't done yet, have we? There we go. We begin. We listen. This is a weird thing. Because we hear the words of President Whitmore, Bill Pullman. Hang on. What am I doing? There we go. Keith says, I've seen parts of this review on other channels, and it's either a love or hate kind of thing. Well, yeah, it's one of those films, in it. People either love it or hate it. I think it's really good. I don't think it's amazing, anything like that, but I do enjoy it. And then Justin says, if they do, we need to keep up with the pressure. Yes, as we do with Amazon MGM Studios and the hashtag Save Stargate, which is why I've got my Atlantis hat on tonight. So don't forget to hashtag Save Stargate. Anyway. Also need to update our digital rights also. Yes, we don't want digital IDs, do we? But anyway. Where were we? Oh my, yes, we're hearing the words of President Whitmore from his speech from the first film. And for some reason, it's been transmitted into space. I didn't think when he made this speech, it was being broadcast wherever. I thought it was just on the tannoy system for the pilots and people that were there at Area 51. But no, it's going out into space. That's what we're hearing here. My fingers aren't working. There we go. So we're hearing that speech. We will survive. But then we're going through space. Here we go. We're traveling through space. And we're going to a planet that has been there. We see a planet there that's been ripped apart. This is what the aliens do. We learn that they're called harvesters in this film. we come across another planet that's been got by them. There we go. We see their big ship. I don't think how would these work in real life? I don't know, but I can't say anything because in Mercury Rapids, spoilers if you haven't read it, I've got these big alien ships appearing and just essentially grabbing hold of the moon with force, with like a tractor beam sort of thing, and basically turning it around. But for reasons, they just do it for fun. But anyway, so we see their big ship here, which is apparently 3,000 miles across. But anyway, and then we're going to go in and see the essentially the Queen. There we go. We see the Queen of the Harvesters is kind of ripping off, or they're kind of ripping off James Cameron's Aliens here. But there we go. Oh, there we go. See, so they're transmitting it into space, or other. I don't know. Not sure, because what we're seeing here is kind of a dream or not. I don't know, but we're seeing that, and then then we see an alien eye, and then is it a dream that the president's having? He sits up in bed. He's now the ex-president. 20 years have passed. It's 2016, and he's now ex-president Whitmore. And we see he's been making doodles of this peculiar sigil, I suppose you could say it is. And he's into the Luftwaffe for some weird reason. Is that a reference to Roland Emmerich being German? Don't know. But he was a pilot, wasn't he, in the first film? Anywho. Right, so there we go. See, lots of people do lots of doodlings in this. A bit like Close Encounters, when they see the UFO and they get the image of Devil's Tower. Well, in this one, they've got the people that have had contact with the aliens, telepathic contact with the aliens, like the president and like Professor Dr. Oaken, who didn't die in the first film, and this warlord fella. They all see this image. Anyway, so then we cut to a wall of heroes. These are supposed to be all the people that died in the War of 96. It just says countless lives, but on the Blu-ray, there's a little comedy skit, which I don't know what it were on. I don't know, because I don't think it's in the film. It's a deleted scene of David Levinson, Jeff Goldblum, and his dad being in like an early morning, TV breakfast talk show thing. And in that, he says, in the War of 96, 3 billion people died. Half the world's population were killed by the aliens. So I don't think there'll be 3 billion names here, will there? But you see Russell Case there. Russell Case, just there, amongst all the others. You'd think he'd have a special place, wouldn't you? Maybe he has. I imagine he's got a statue somewhere of Russell Case, because he saved the world, didn't he? I don't know if there's any other names that we know. Cloud Dixon, CLOWD. Is that a real name? That's a weird name. Kind of cool, I must admit. I kind of like that name, Cloud with a W. David Kessler. Is that a reference to American Werewolf in London? Don't know. I'm not going to go through all the names, but anyway, so we see there we go. We see the rebuilt, and we've got super ace technology now because of the aliens. Because we've got the aliens' weapons and technology, and the Earth is essentially a paradise now, sort of. All the planets, all the countries have come together and signed peace treaties. So we're in an age of prosperity and all that stuff. Just 20 years later, and they rebuilt the White House as well. There it is. They rebuilt the White House. Remember, that got blown up, didn't it, in the first film? And it was going to get destroyed in this film. They actually did, like, preliminary CG of the White House getting destroyed again. But not blown up this time, just essentially crushed. But they decided against it. They thought, well, we've done that, so we won't do it again. So it doesn't get destroyed in this film. Hang on, Justin says, hot take, I like this one more. Fair enough. I imagine a lot of people do. I think my son likes this more than the first one. I think he does. I think he seems to watch it more than the first one. Or parts of it. My son's a person that doesn't sit and watch a whole film. He'll watch bits of films. He'll skip to the bits he likes. Kids, eh? Anyway, Justice says, I think they could have written the ex-president better in this. I quite like him in this because he's a broken man, isn't he? Because of what happened to him. And he's got he still essentially has the aliens in his head, but he hasn't handled it as well as some others. I mean, Dr. Oak has been in a coma for 20 years. And this other fella that we find, this warlord whose name I can't remember, he's fine, but yeah, the president's kind of a broken man, and but he does, he has his moments in this film, doesn't he? He's he's a hero still, and he does his bit. But anyway, so here we go. We've got a new president now, played by Celia Ward, who I've seen her. She usually plays wives and stuff, and people like this in films. Did she play Harrison Ford's wife in the Jack Ryan films he did? I think she did, didn't she? And did she play? I can't remember. I'm gonna have to check. Just bear with me. Did she play again Harrison Ford's wife in The Fugitive, the one that got murdered by the one-armed man? I'm not sure. I'm going to check now. What I've seen her in. Yes, The Fugitive. She were in. Yes, she played his wife in The Fugitive. I'm going to say she probably won't in the Jack Ryan films. Probably not. No, she won't, because it was somebody else. I just remembered. I can see who it, but I can't remember her name. Anne. Something or other. Can't remember. Anyway. Fugitive. What else have I seen her in? Oh, pardon me, burping, tell you. I had a big plate of mince beef and mashed potato for my tea, with onions in, and it's repeating. I'll blame them. I can't see anything else now. I'm just thinking of The Fugitive that I've seen her in. But she's been in loads of other stuff as well. Anywho. All right, Keith's got to get off now. Hang on. Keith says, okay, I've seen how you do this. I'll be back, but I'm going to leave my computer running so you get the time. Oh, thank you very much. That's very generous of you. That's very kind. Yes, everybody do that. You don't have to watch. Just leave it on. Playing in the background. It doesn't have the sound on. Just leave it playing. He says, I have to get dinner before the Belgian waffles go after the Americans. Or is it that tonight? Is it the US versus Belgium match? Ooh, there are ructions with that, aren't there? With a red card, a suspension for one of the American striker. If he scores a goal now, that's it. Belgium and America are at war. Nice to see you down the road. See you later, Keith. Have fun. Getting your dinner sorted. And thank you for keeping the video running. Anyway, where were we? I forgot where we were now. Oh, yes, the president. She's the president. I can't remember her name. I always just... Lanford. President Lanford. And we don't see what happens to her. They did film a scene later in the film, when all the invasion stuff and all the action starts. She goes to, what they call it, NORAD, Cheyenne Mountain, where the Stargate is. She goes there with all the, the Joint Chiefs and all that stuff. So they think they're safe. And it turns out they're not. And her and others get taken by the aliens, and she gets taken in front of the Queen alien, and the Queen probes the minds and stuff and all that, and then just squishes her. And that's they filmed it, but they decided not to have it in the film. So we just get told they've taken out NORAD again. They did in the first one, didn't they? But anyway. Right, so we're getting to meet some more characters now. There's Usher as is he a rapper or something? I don't know. I'm sure I've seen him at not seen him, but I've never been to Glastonbury or watched it on telly because there's never anybody on I like. But I'm sure I've seen him mentioned. I'm probably wrong. Anyway, it was implied she died. Well, yes. In this version, in the version that they released, yes. But they did actually film a scene where she got squished by the alien queen. So we knew for definitely that she died. But in this, we're told that, NORAD's Cheyenne Mountain's been taken out, and also the president and all the succession have all gone for the presidency. So that's when William Fichtner becomes president. But that's later on in the film. Anywho, where were we? Yes, Usher. He's playing Dylan. I can't remember his name now. What's his bloody name? Hiller, that's it. Dylan Hiller. Although it wouldn't have been called that, would it? I don't know her name in the first film. His mum was Jasmine. What was her last name? I genuinely can't remember. But he's Dylan Hiller because they got married, didn't they? In the first one, what do they call him now? Hiller, Captain Hiller. What was his first name? Whatever. They got married, didn't they? So he became Dylan Hiller, and he's followed into his stepfather's footsteps now. He's a pilot, and so there we go. So he's a hero now. And there's his meeting. He's off to the moon because they've got a moon base. I think the original opening, by the way, for the film, we were going to see a base, a human base on Saturn's moon Rhea. There's like a base there, I think, run by Russians, I think. And a wormhole opens and kind of sucks away Saturn's rings and destroys the base and all that stuff. But anyway. And Beardy Brits is here. Hello from a stormy North Carolina. Is it storm? So you're not in your pool then? Go and subscribe to Beardy Brits for his, basically just, if for anything, for his dad joke of the day. Anyway. Right, so where were we? So they're all proud. There's Seal Award. He's meeting other people, blah, blah, blah. And then, right, so this is where he's meeting now. There she is. That's Whitmore, President Whitmore's daughter. I can't remember her bloody name. Patricia Whitmore. Played by, who played her in the first film? I'm going to look it up here. Hang on, to get rid of that. I've done something. I've deleted something somewhere. No, I haven't. There we go. Where have I seen it? Mae Whitman played Patricia Whitmore in the first Independence Day, when she was a little kid. And there were a bit of a fan outrage, apparently, because the cast, whatever she's called, Micah Monroe, I don't know how to pronounce it, because the producers felt that Mae Whitman wasn't conventionally pretty enough. I don't know what she looks like now. I mean, she could have her eyes. I don't know. She could look like a Picasso for all I know. But yeah, so the bit of bother. I don't know who played Dylan in the first film. I don't know why they didn't get him in. Maybe he's not an actor now. I've no idea. But anyway, turns out she's engaged to Liam Hemsworth's character, who is called, I can never remember, Jake Morrison, who is also a pilot. Anyway, but now she's working at the White House. Essentially, she's looking after her dad. Everybody's a pilot in this film. She's also a pilot, but she's kind of given up piloting to look after her dad. But anyway, right, so here we go. He's going to the moon, and she says, be nice to Jake when you see him up there, because they don't get on, because Jake, they were testing a plane or something, and Jake's a bit of a hothead pilot, and he crashed the plane and nearly killed them, and they kind of fell out. So there we go. Right, so we're on the moon now. Here we are on the moon. Cool effects in this film, by the way. Can't say that they're just from one production house, VFX house, because they're from loads of different ones. There's Weta and Digital Domain, I think, and loads of others. And in the commentary, all that Roland Emmerich did would just talk about, the CGI, because most of this film is CGI. There's not many sets. Not many locations. There are some, but even then, loads of blue screens. And all they were saying was there's just blue screens everywhere. Not green screens. He likes blue screens, the Roland Emmerich, because he says green screens hurt his eyes, and he thinks you get better colours on the complexions of the people with blue screen. That's what he says, but I thought that'd be down to colour grading later, but never mind. Justy says, I wonder if everyone is a soldier along with being a citizen. Maybe so. Maybe everybody's been, does national service and all that stuff. They're like the Swiss. They're like that, aren't they? Apparently. But everyone had to do a tour of duty. Yes, I imagine everybody had to put. If 3 billion people died, I mean, bloody hell, it's like Thanos in it doing the snap. Anyway, right. So we're on the moon, and here we go. You see, there's a tug, and this is what Liam Hemsworth's character Jake has been reduced to. He's a fighter pilot, and he's basically been not allowed to be a fighter pilot anymore because of the way he is. He doesn't take orders well, he's a hothead and all that stuff. And there he is. So now he's a tug pilot. There we see all these different tugs. And what they're doing here, they're flying essentially a big honking space gun, as Jack O'Neill with 2 L's might say, to the moon base. So here we go. So that's what they're doing. And there we go. Moon Tug 10, confirm position. So that's what he's doing. So they're heading over there. And he was his friend. Don't know his friend's name either. I can't remember. Where is he? Where are you? Look, he's way down here. Where is he? Where is he? Charlie, played by Travis Tope. Charlie Miller. He's Jake's friend. He's the comedy relief chap. He's a sergeant. 3 billion died. Like how many this time? 1 billion? Yeah, there's probably a few more. A few because of what happens. So I imagine that quite a lot more died. But he does say at the end, doesn't he? Does Jeff Goldblum, if we won't survive another attack if they come back. But anyway, right. So they're moving this big gun to the moon base. There it is. They're moving this big gun to its mounting there. You see the Earth there. And something goes wrong. I'm not sure what. There we go. Space Defense Station, Earth's moon. And something happens. And the blame, Tug 10. Tug 10 gets the blame. It disengages, but something weird happens. And I don't know what. But something goes wrong, and the big honking space gun starts to fall, and nobody seems bothered about it. Look, weapon listing, and they're all just standing there watching it, heading towards the base. Look, it's going to crush the base, and nobody in the base seems bothered at all about it. Particularly the head of the base, who's some Chinese bloke. Look! It's heading towards them. Look, they're just stood there, going, I'll be running for my life, heading for the escape pods or whatever they've got. Anyway, he saves the day. There we go. He gets his moon tug under it, and he uses the fusion. Is it a fusion drive? Is that what they call it? Hang on, where are we? Yes, he's going to use the fusion drive, which is a super duper fast engine that they've got. And uses that to stop the gun falling into the base, and then it locks into place, and everything's lovely. But he's still in trouble because he caused the accident in the first place, and then he gets grounded, and where is he? There he is. He's the head of the base. I say because it's 2016, isn't it, when this came out? So I think China was still heavily involved in Hollywood. So we've got a Chinese fella in charge of this base, and we're going to have a Chinese fighter pilot woman that's coming in. I don't know if any Chinese production companies were involved, but let's have a look, see if it says. I don't know. Electric Entertainment, is that a Chinese one? No, it isn't. No. I don't know. But anyway. if they made a third, I need numbers of what humanity has left. All right, I mean, it might not be 3 billion, but he said that in that that's on the Blu-ray in that deleted scene. I don't know if it's a deleted scene or if it were something that was, I don't know, but that's what he said. But they don't actually say it in the film, do they? I don't think. Anyway, what's his name? What's his name? Bum ba-dum 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 ba-dum. Where is he? Commander Zhang. There he's played by Chin Han. And he's got a niece called Rain Lau, played by Angela Baby, who's another Chinese actress. And must admit, well fit. But anyway. He gets grounded. So there we go. So he's lost his wings. Anyway. Right. So anyway, here we are at Area 51 now, and we see, is it going to tell us? Hang on, let's go back again. Is it going to show it? There we go. Space Defense Headquarters, Area 51, Nevada. So it's expanded a lot, hasn't it? It has expanded a lot since the first film. And General Adams, who's kind of in charge, is on his way. He's played by William Fichtner, who's been in loads of Michael Bay films and stuff. This movie reminds me of Space Above and Beyond and Starship Troopers. Yeah, somewhat. I can't believe we didn't build any warships. I'm surprised at that as well. We've got fighters and stuff. Roland Emmerich probably just didn't think of it. They seem to not use. Because at first, when I first watched it, I was watching it and I'm thinking, why haven't they got the shields, the alien shields? I thought they're not cracked that technology, but they have, because they use them later at the end of the film. I thought, well, why haven't they got shields on their fighter planes and everything? But no, they haven't. They just use the shield for this one purpose in the film. But anyway, so we're at Area 51, and here comes the general. And he's been basically dragged in from a holiday or something with his wife, and they go off and enjoying a very nice morning at an expensive bed and breakfast. And but he's being called in because the alien prisoners, because they must have had loads of aliens that they captured, and they're all being held at Area 51, thousands of them. And there they are. They're all in little containment cells. But apparently they've been inert for like 20 years. And now they've suddenly woke up. Because they're on the way, aren't they? Their mates are on the way, and they've suddenly woke up. Because in the first film, all the alien technology switched on, didn't it, when the aliens came back? So this is they themselves have switched back on. Anyway. So they're freaking out, it seems. And they want, it says, get me David Levinson. I think they call him Director Levinson, I think that's what they call him. I don't know his title, I can't remember. ESD. I forgot what that stands for now. Earth, Space, I forgot. Defense, whatever. He's the director now, is David Levinson. And we see that he's gone to somewhere in Africa. What does it say? Some country that they've made up. Republique Nationale d'Umbutu. Could you just said, Morocco or something like, somewhere, I don't know, in sub-Saharan Africa, Congo or whatever. No. Made one up. But anyway, so he's here. But it wasn't actually filmed in Africa. It was filmed in Albuquerque. But anyway, he's heading to meet this warlord. But this fella's caught up with him. Can't remember his name either. But he's kind of another comedy relief in the film. Played by... I'm going to have to go to all cast and crew. I think it's James A. Woods, I think. If I can find him. There we go. Yes, James A. Woods. Who is one of the writers, one of the script writers on the film. They had him. There's him and somebody else who also gets a role in the film. But he's got a more prominent role. And he's quite good, actually. He's quite funny. Actually, no, I'm thinking no, he's not. No, he's the other one. James A. Woods is the other one. Which is this one? Can't remember. I'm going to have to look up the bloody name of the writer now, aren't I? James A. Woods, Nicholas Wright, James Vanderbilt. Which one is it? Dunno. Good. Oh, dear. Where are we? Well, it should be quite near the top because he's in it a lot. Oh, there we go. Nicholas Wright. It's Nicholas Wright. Is this plays Floyd Rosenberg, who's like an accountant, and he's been chasing after David Levinson to do his accounts. Maybe he's been, frivolent with his expenses or stuff, an expense account. I don't know, but that's what he's here for. They're going to be chasing you across the planet. Anyway. So they're heading into this place, which is run by this African warlord. Adam Baldwin should have been the general, says Justin. That'd have been cool, wouldn't it? If Adam Baldwin was the General Adams, character, that would have been nice. But he's not. What were he doing in 2016? Don't know. Probably not a lot. Anyway, so here we go. Right. So it's where we're going to meet. I can't remember his name either. What am I bloody like? Where are we? Where is he? Come on, where are you? Dikembe Umbutu. That's the character name. The warlord, played by Diobia I just said that, Operai. I'm probably mispronouncing that. Well, I think he's British. Let me check at the cast. On here. Where is he? Where are you? Yes, he's an English actor. Who were in Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides. And they were in the Dumbo, 2019 Dumbo. Right. Oops, pressed the wrong button because I'm a bloody blithering idiot. And it says here, Congolese warlord of the National Republic of Ubuntu. All right. Isn't that an operating system? I'm sure it is, isn't it? I'm sure it's a Linux-based operating system. I'm 100% sure that's what it is. Anyway, so here he is. So we're meeting these guys. Look, they've got lots of alien skulls. They're the alien hunters. And so there we're going to talk to them. And here we see Charlotte Gainsborough, who plays somebody. Tell you, Catherine Marceau, who is a former a love interest for David Levinson. Don't know what happened to his ex-wife. I don't know if it ever tells us in this film. Don't think it does. I think my son looked it up once on the internet and thinks she was supposed to have died in a car crash or something. I don't think it mentions it in this film, what happened to his wife from the first film. Connie, she was Constance, wasn't it? I don't know what's happened to her, but she's not around. But I think my son looked it up and said, the backstory was she died in a car crash or something. But anyway, he's Charlotte Gainsborough, who you may know from. She was in that Lars von Trier film, Antichrist, which were weird. Good, but weird. With, what do you call him? What am I like with names? Never mind. A famous actor. He played him that were the Green Goblin in Sam Raimi's Spider-Man. Him. What do they call him? Willem Dafoe. Which were in Antichrist with Willem Dafoe. Anyway, but that's by the by. Right, where were we? So they come meet each other again, and they have a bit of a row, and then all the soldiers are there, and they're going to meet this fella, and we see that there's a big ship there. There it is. That's just turned on. All the lights have come on suddenly after 20 years, and it's the only one of the called destroyers, weren't there? There were three classes of ship, weren't there, in the first film? There were the attackers, which were their fighters, the alien fighter things. So they're called attackers. There were destroyers, which were, the big round ships, and then there were the mothership, weren't there? Anyway, this is one of the destroyers, but it is different to the other destroyers, and it's got these landing legs or whatever. And it turns out they were digging into the earth. They were drilling into the earth. That's I forgot his name already. Genuinely, I'm bloody hopeless. Dikembe Umbutu. There we go. Oh, he's named the country after himself, hasn't he? And he himself is named after an operating system. But anyway. I thought they said cancer, but maybe wrong. I thought the dad said something. Did he? Oh, right. I must have missed that. We'll see if I come across that scene. Fair enough. I mustn't have been paying attention, obviously. Anyway, so this is the ship that landed in 96. And there we go. They were drilling a big blooming hole to the Earth's core, apparently, because we learn later that they extract the molten core of the Earth and to use, for their energy and also for their technology and stuff like that. But it would basically kill the Earth. But that's what we've seen. That's what they do. We saw that planet that were, in bits, didn't we? Pardon me. Anyways, they've got to get up into the ship. So how do we get up there? So they're basically going to walk up the ship. There we go. So obviously, it's obviously very grippy because they're just walking up. And I thought, well, why are they walking? This thing's massive. I mean, it'll be miles, won't it? These ships were like 15 miles across, weren't they? So couldn't they take a car or something? Couldn't they drive a car up here or a truck or a helicopter or something? And no, they're walking. And so they go inside and they see there's a signal being sent. Look, in an X-band frequency, whatever that means, directed towards deep space. Right. So that's what it's showing us all now. It's showing us all that. So we're hearing the speech from General Whitmore, President Whitmore. So it wasn't just a dream, that he were having. He was feeling, hearing, or whatever, sensing what were happening with the alien queen somehow, that she had received this signal and were heading to Earth to sort it out. Anyway, meanwhile, back on the moon, he's having a chat with his fiancée, but the signal is lost and something happens because a wormhole appears. Look, signal's lost in a bit. A wormhole. Maybe the moon moved out of range. I don't know. But anyway, right. So here come these super duper pilots. They're heading to the moon. That's Angela Baby, who plays Rain Lau. But they're heading up to the moon. And then we see that. This is Vivica Fox, who is now a hospital administrator, no longer an exotic dancer. Best bit of the first film. Anyway, so off they go to he's on the phone to his mother, and I'm proud of your son, blah, 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 and off they go to the moon. And they're there already, look. But it's going to get into an altercation pretty soon. But Charlie immediately falls in love with the Chinese pilot there. But anyway, there we'll see that they're meeting each other. And they go, I'm in love with that pilot. There we go. My heart exploded. But they're going to fight now. I was going to punch him. Dylan's going to punch Jake because they don't get on. There we go. Boing. Just like his stepfather. Maybe he had his wife's name in his mouth. And anyway, so there we go. Everything's okay and all that stuff. Blah blah blah. They got it out of the system. Obviously, I don't think they become friends, but they get respect for each other by the end of the film. Anyway, all right. He's watching what happened with him and Dylan before. They crashed the plane and they ejected just in time. Right, so we're back at Area 51 now, and Dr. Oaken's been in a coma for 20 years. He must have good medical insurance. Don't get me started on American medical insurance. But anyway, and he suddenly wakes up. This is he was in the first film as well. I don't know what he's called. So I'm going to have to check now. I don't know what it's called, to be completely honest. Can't find bloody Brent Spiner. There he is. Brent Spiner, Dr. Brackish Oaken. Again, his appearance and his name is based on Jeffrey Oaken, who was one of the special effects supervisors for the first film. I can't remember his name, this fella. I don't know. But anyway, he's been looking after him. And it turns out these two are a couple because Roland Emmerich, who is famously gay, is a gay man, it's fair enough, whatever. He wanted a gay couple in this film, 2016 after all. So they've decided to make Oaken and whatever his name is into a couple. So they call each other baby all the way through the film. But they don't kiss or out like that, but it was either they're a couple. And they kind of squabble like a couple and stuff like that. And he's been looking after him for 20 years, and he's just woke up because obviously the Queen's woke him up. He goes, "Did we win?" And anyway, gets his glasses. He's been looking after his glasses for 20 years as well. He says, "And you got a bit fat and really bald." Anyway. Oh, is this what we see now? Right. So they're showing footage here from the rear moon base. There we go. This just came in from Hubble. Some kind of force pulling at Saturn's rings. And I think this is the harvesters coming, this one. But we see another wormhole open up near the moon in a bit. Yes, it's Data, Brent Spine. But there's William Fichtner as General Adams. By the way, it is again like the first film. It's the 4th of July-ish, and there's going to be a big celebration for the 20th anniversary in Washington. So they're expecting everybody to be there, but obviously it all goes wrong. Anyway, right. So there we go. We see that symbol popped up again. So they're wondering what that's all about, and this is Umbutu's residence, I suppose. And we learned that he can read the alien language because he's spent his last 20 years, hunting down the aliens. I think the aliens killed his dad and his brother. So he's been hunting down the aliens. And he says, to hunt something, you got to learn all about it. So he's learned their language as well. Don't know what from. Maybe he's... Because they can't do the ship because the ship's been switched off, hasn't it? So they can't go into their computers. So they must have books or something. I don't know. But he's learned their language somehow. And he's learned how to kill them as well. But anyway, so there we go. And we see that he's also done a drawing of that scene, but with a bit more detail. Anyway. Look, there's all Catherine's books there. Look, bet they're not an Amazon Kindle and paperback. What's that one? Anyway, so right, back on the moon. What's happening? He's going to go over and introduce himself to Rain and ask her out, but she doesn't want to know anything about him. But it is funny. He says, "Aren't you a bit young?" He goes, "I'm 23 and a half." Anyway, right, suddenly, it all kicks off. Look, all the dust, the lunar regolith is being sucked up into the, you can't say sky. Well, yeah, I suppose it's the sky, isn't it? It's just an airless void, but all that's happening. So the red alert, and it's a wormhole opening. Something emerges from it, and they think it's the aliens coming back, and it is aliens, but it's not the aliens. Justice says, "I thought he had one attack, his mind, and he learned it from that." Maybe so. Again, I probably wasn't listening to the dialogue. But anyway. So where were we? Yes, this thing comes through. So she's there, the president with all her staff and stuff. They're wondering what to do, and he's saying, is David. I don't think it's them. The technology looks completely different. I don't think it's the ones that attacked us before, but they can't take any chances. They say we could be starting the war with a whole new species. And they said, well, we're not going to make that mistake again. He said, no, you're making all new mistakes. Oh, he doesn't say that, but I bet he thought it. But so they opened fire on it, and all the other leaders concur. Who else we got? Got Japanese, French. That's probably British. He looks British, doesn't it? I don't know. Does it show us another one? Russia. We have to be decisive. I vote attack. And there's China there. Look, China gets 2 people. Oh, that's him from on the moon base, isn't it? Yes, he is British. So they opened fire on it. Look, it's there. Look, a big, massive, like what we saw in that image. It's a big, massive version of that. And the teeny tiny little moon base there, look. So they opened fire on it. She says, take them out. And, for Pete's sake. So they do, look, they fire it's essentially a destroyer weapon, like the ones we saw that destroyed cities and all that in the first film. They've got their own version of that. And they take it out, look. And obviously it's not got great defensive capabilities. It is the Earth stood still. What, the new version? Is it like that? I've only seen it once. The one with Keanu Reeves. Anyway, so they've got that ship and blown its bits of it off, and it's careering off across the moon, and it lands in the Van der Graaf crater. No signs of life. But anyway, so David says, we've got to go and check it out and see what's going on. And say, no, we'll check it out later. We've sorted that out, she says. But now we've got to do this celebration. I expect you in Washington, D.C. post haste. And he's like, but then he just hangs up on him, who I think is either some secretary, I don't know, somebody important, and just hangs up on him. Anyway, so he says, I've got to get to the moon. So Liam Hemsworth, Jake, he's going to furnish the ride to the moon. So he says, look, everybody get out, I'm taking off. So that's what he's going to do. Meanwhile, former President Whitmore says, I've got to talk. I've got to warn them. It's not them. They're coming, but this wasn't them. I've got to warn them. And they do a little scene here which were actually supposed to be in a deleted scene. Apparently, he kept wandering off because he's not all there. Is Whitmore. And he keeps wandering off, and they keep having to go out and look for him. And there was a scene where they find him at a bus stop talking to some kids, and they bundle him into this, a black SUV, government and all that. And they have a little conversation in the car about, she were a pilot, and he says, you gave up your, wings essentially to look after me. And she says, that's not a burden, it's what I want to do. And all that. So but instead of in the back of a car, they do that conversation here. But anyway. Right, so there we go. She's saying, look, I'm doing it because I love you, Dad. And then he says, they're coming back. Then we cut back to Africa, and here's Ubuntu. I'm sure it is a Linux operating system. Anyway. He's getting his machetes. The machetes out. He's getting his machetes out, and he puts them in his. There we go. Puts them in his thing. He thinks he's Deadpool. Whitmore served a second term. They didn't explain how he went mad. It must have crept up on him. It's not the most coherent script or world building, to be completely honest. You haven't to overthink it, have you? Which I probably do in places. Anyway, so he's looking at his brother. There we go. That's his brother, who were killed by the aliens, as well as his dad. But anyway, right. So they're all gonna. Here comes Jake in the tug that is essentially stolen. They actually built, obviously not that, not that, but they actually built a life-size version of this, which I think they used inside. They used it for outside shots, obviously. They said it weighed about 40 tons, but they actually used the inside as well, shot on the inside of it as well. So I bet a hefty lump of the budget went on that. Don't forget to show the General from One when it comes up. Yes, he's there. Robert Loggia is going to be on soon. Anyway, they head up to the moon. They all pile in. Look, I'm coming with you, and I'm coming as well. And so, whatever, let's just all go. He says, I'm not going. And then he sees all these big men. And he says, oh, no, I'm going with you. And off they go. And we see that they use the fusion drive. Here they come, heading into space. And they go, fusion drive, because they're going really fast. Remember, he doesn't like flying in, does he? He apparently was president also after Whitmore, was it? All right. So I haven't checked the. I imagine there's an Independence Day wiki or something in there with all this information. I've not checked that, so I don't know. Anyway. Right, so they're off to the moon. And meanwhile, Julius Levinson is on a book tour. He wrote a book called How I Saved the World. It's, I think, they probably self-published, which is fine. So did I. And he's on a book tour and at an old people's home. They're selling it for $9.99. And we saw on that deleted scene, whatever it was, where, the early morning thing, he appeared on with David. He was flogging his book on that, and we saw that it was supposed to be $14.99, reduced to $9.99. Anyway, she's gone in to see to her dad that morning, but he's not there. He's gone to the celebrations. They weren't expecting him at the celebrations, but he's gone anyway. Meanwhile, they're heading to the moon. Oh, and they're going to fly through. I'm going to show it. Flying through, there we go, the old mothership's debris field that you remember that blew up at the end of the first film, and it's left a lot of debris, even though it's all burning up. So there must have left a lot of it up there as well. Hey, just wet me whistle. So they're going through that, and we hear all bits clunking up against it, and he says, "Don't worry, these are built like tanks." So. Don't worry, they were basically space tanks. I wonder if they're made from trinium. I don't know. Anyway, so they're heading to the Van de Graaff crater, and we see, the bits of the ship that they just shot down. And so anyway, so they've arrived there. Meanwhile, at I forgot what they call this now. What do they call this area? Come on, American people. Justin, what's this area called? Where the Washington Monument is. I can't remember. Anyway, the mall doesn't sound right. Anyway, never mind. Anyway, lots of people there and big TVs that just look like big TVs. No, but here we are. So they're doing this celebration. All right, there he is. General Grey. Robert Loggia, there he is, looking very frail. There he is. Who passed away while they were doing post-production on this film. I think before the movie came out, I think he passed away in 2015, I think. Let me check. Bum. Because this came out in 2016, didn't it? Yes, he passed away in 2015. Roland Emmerich said, he were grateful that he got these scenes, but they said, they couldn't do a lot with him, obviously, because he were really frail at that point. And but they're just glad that he got to appear in this film. And like I say, he passed away just before the film came out. Anyway, so there he is. There's Robert Loggia. Is it Loggia or Loggia? I don't know. But he were in. I've seen him in other films, but the only other film that's coming to mind, he played a baddie, didn't he, in Innocent Blood, that vampire film, which I've not seen, oddly enough. I remember him from it because I've seen clips of it, but I've never sat and watched it all the way through. And I think that's a the other fella, John Landis film, isn't it? Anyway, so there he is. Meanwhile, back on the moon, they find an artifact. They're looking, and we see that he's got tattoos for all the aliens he's killed, apparently. And he says, "How do you get them?" He says, "You get them from behind," which is an important plot point for later. Anyway, meanwhile, they're in spacesuits, and they found that thing there, which just happens to be okay. Scarface and tons of movies and shows. Yes, he's done a lot of stuff. Scarface is another film I've never watched. Never watched it. I've seen bits. I've seen clips of it, obviously, but I've never sat and watched it. Anyway, lots of classic films I've never seen. Right, so they've got to get that, I don't know, back to Earth, to Area 51, but it's all going to kick off soon. They're doing some nice flying, apparently, up on the moon. Here they come, look with flags and stuff. Bit of an air display. Ooh, hope they don't do a Colvoort starburst or whatever it was called. I can't remember. Oh, that was what they're supposed to do in Star Trek, but they did something else, didn't they? Can't remember. If Windgrace were here, he could tell me. But he's probably off doing 4th of July weekend stuff. Anywho, we're listening to the speech that he gave, which must have been recorded as well. I thought it was just an off-the-cuff speech that he gave to the people present over the tannoy, but obviously somebody recorded it, so getting played ad infinitum. But here he comes, look, and he freaks out. He starts warning them, but then he freaks out and collapses. Look, so they get him rushed to hospital, and he freaks out as well. And we see that he's, does it show it? No, it don't show it. We see that he's been writing on his wall in alien language. So the reflecting pool is no more in this. Doesn't look like it, does it? Unless they covered it up for all the people. Because they can do, can't they? I'm sure they can do that. It can be covered up. Or maybe they just emptied them. I don't know. Because they knew lots of people were going to be there. I have no idea. Right, so here comes the baddies that are arriving. Here it comes. Apparently it's in stealth mode. According to Roland Emmerich, some sort of cloaking device. It decloaks, essentially. And so that's how it's snuck up. So there it is. So it's arriving now. So it's all gonna go wrong. The tug heads back for them, picks them up, and says, "We've got to pick up that round thing as well." So they're going to get that. So here we go. So it's all about to kick off. Right, they're flying away, and they say the alien. I don't know what they call it. What do they call this? It's not a mothership. It's a super mothership, isn't it? Does it have a name? Let's have a look. See if it says. See if it says. Bum, 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 bum. It just says an alien mothership, 3,000 miles in diameter. I'm sure it's got a name. It's like Darth Vader's Super Star Destroyer in Empire Strikes Back. It's the version of that, isn't it? But anyway, so they're flying through all this debris. It's got its own gravitational field, so it's pulling up stuff, from the lunar surface and all that. Is it the world ender? All right. What did they call it in Man of Steel? What do they call it now? Oh, it's got a world engine, didn't they? They called that thing. So this is a bit like that as well, isn't it? That is what I call it. All right, fair enough. Anyway, so they're flying underneath the we'll just call it the mothership, but it's the super mothership. We'll call it the super mothership. They're flying underneath that. There we go. We're stuck under it, and look, it's got a shield. Look, it's all stuff's hitting it, and they try and fire at it, and it doesn't do anything. And there we go. Look pathetic. It doesn't do anything. But their weapons, make short work of our stuff. Here it goes. It's just going to destroy the lunar base. Here it goes. Look, just destroys the lunar base just like that. And obviously, Rain's everybody on the base is dead now. So Rain's like, "Oh, my uncle." But they're getting out of there. But there it is, just skimming past the moon. I mean, why did it have to go so close to the moon? I mean, it could have avoided the lunar base altogether, but never mind. They needed to have one of Russell Case's kids in this. It'd be nice to see at least one of them, wouldn't it? But I suppose they're back off in their trailer somewhere. Dear. Oh, maybe they are in it, and we just don't. They just don't tell us it's one of them. Maybe it's just one of the background characters. I don't know. Anyway, so they're getting the president to NORAD or whatever. And they're activating the satellite defenses now, with each of these satellites as a destroyer gun on. But the mothership makes short work of those as well. They're getting ready, but the mothership just destroys them all. Just fires loads of beams at once and just takes them all out. So anyway, so there's no stopping them. What we're going to do? We're going to Area 51. That's what we're going to do. But they're taking the president to Cheyenne Mountain. So they'll send them through the Stargate to the Alpha site, I imagine. That's what they should do. I think our weapons should have damaged them a little. You'd have thought so, wouldn't you? And why do we have no shields until we need a shield later? Because see, they've got shield generators because they need it for a plot point later on in the film. But nothing else has got a shield. None of the fighters have shields. None of the bases have shields. Stupid film. But anyway, they should have not went through that quick. It's showing how they're unstoppable this time. There's no stopping them. Anyway, that plane looks cool, doesn't it? Obviously, it's not real, is it? You know, that's it. Everything's on the blue screen in this film, just about. Anyway, right. So here it comes, entering the Earth's atmosphere now. 3,000 miles across. This is just the Earth would just end. It would, because it's not just. Think of the atmosphere it's displacing. The atmosphere, the weather and everything. They're just go. They'd be just everything. The surface of the Earth would be just torn asunder. There'd be shockwaves going all around the world, and just destroying everything in its path. But anyway, never mind. I should have wrote this movie. It would have been different. Well, I think if anybody apart from Roland Emmerich and Dean Devlin wrote this, it'd have been probably better, to be honest. But I still do enjoy it. Yeah, you haven't to overthink it, have you? Which I do tend to do. Anyway, right. So, and we learned it's got its own gravity. So here we are, somewhere in China, I imagine. I don't know. Is it Hong Kong or Shanghai? I don't know. Does it tell us? I don't know. But this is my son's favourite scene. I think for the song that's playing on his headphones. He always watches this clip. And we see he gets out of his taxi and we see, look, all the city's being pulled up towards the ship that's hovering there. Justin says, I love it. It's like Moonfall. I enjoyed Moonfall as well. Which was a completely ridiculous film. I really enjoyed it. The fella in this that plays, I forgot his name already. Felix, is it Felix? No, not Felix. Floyd Rosenberg. Him that plays him, I think he reminds me of the fella from Moonfall, whose name I can't remember, but never mind. Anyway, so there we go. All the city's essentially being pulled up. All the buildings, why are they being sucked up into the air? I don't know, but I suppose they will be when it gets to them. But there we go. We see it all being dragged up. It's all very 2012, isn't it? Or as Roland Emmerich calls it, pardon me, when I did 2012. It's 2012, Roland. Bloody hell. I do the same thing. Watch clips. Also watch the same movie on repeat for days. Because you're mental. Dear. Fair enough. I forgot what I was saying now. Yes, everything's getting serious. Ships and stuff are getting sucked out of the harbour and all that. And look, they're just watching because they're stuck underneath it. I don't know what's happened, but they can't really get away from it. But then suddenly something happens with his ship. I don't know if is it now or is it later? It might be later because here we're somewhere over China or whatever, right? We're somewhere in the Far East. But then in a minute they're over London. But anyway, we'll get to that bit. It helps with my pain management. Oh, fair enough. From my cancer. Oh, yeah, go on, bring it down now, Justin, for crying out loud. I'm not laughing that you've got cancer, by the way. I'm sorry. But you do what you need to do, don't you, to alleviate the effects. That's what I should say. But anyway, F cancer. That's what I say. But I'm mental also. Yes, you are. Yes, but F cancer. It took my mum, did cancer. Don't set me off. But anyway. Anywho, right, so this city's going to kablooey. Here we are. Look, nuclear bunker, Cheyenne Mountains. Not mentioning that the Stargate's down there. Because in the original Stargate movie, it wasn't Cheyenne Mountain, was it? Even though it technically was supposed to be. But it wasn't. They called it something else. Creek Mountain, they called it in the original Stargate movie, didn't they? But anyway. So they're there at Cheyenne Mountain, deep underground, where they think they're safe. She's trying to get patients out. Here it is. Look, it's now it's extending its legs that are going to gouge into the earth. The earth it'll just disintegrate, wouldn't it? Anyway, it's just a film. So here we go. Right. So and something happens. I don't know what. Because does it turn off its gravity? I don't know. What does it say? Hang on, where are we? Right. It says what goes up must come down. Right. So I don't understand what's happened. As soon as it deploys these legs, you can see everything's burning because it's moving super fast through the atmosphere, isn't it? Essentially, so that's why it's causing friction and stuff. So everything is on fire, which is what happened. I think that's why in the first film, when the destroyers entered the Earth's atmosphere, they were surrounded by flames, weren't they? Because they were moving so fast through the atmosphere. It causes a shock wave, doesn't it? But anyway. But for some reason, I don't know, it says it's that big, it's got its own gravity. So does that mean, I presume they meant it naturally has its own gravity, but I'm guessing not, because they must turn it off now, because everything just starts falling. It says what goes up must come down. So do they just turn off their artificial gravity? But the inference was that it's so big it has its own gravitational force. Because mass creates gravity, doesn't it? Anyway, everything starts coming back down. Look, all these buildings and stuff. Look, we're over London now. All these buildings that they picked up in China and other places and ships and all that. They're all now falling on London. Look, there's the Houses of Parliament and Queen Elizabeth Tower, and there's the London Eye. Look, all coming down onto the Thames. And look, they're trying to avoid the falling debris and stuff. And is this the bit where he says they go for the landmarks? Hang on, he says it in a bit. Where is it? Here we go. It's this bit. It's this bit.
They like to get the
landmarks. Which they do. Because we see there's Tower Bridge gets got. Poor London. Paris is fine in this one, for Christ's sake. We see Paris later on. The Eiffel Tower's still there and everything. For God's sake. No, bloody London's got for it. Everybody hates the British these days. Anyway, so they've escaped. And I says, pee your pants? And he goes, yeah. Is it? Me too. Anyway, meanwhile, somewhere at sea, I'm not exactly sure where, does it say? Mid-Atlantic Ridge. Salvage expedition on the Mid-Atlantic Ridge. These fellas are in this ship and they're wanting to salvage $100 million worth of gold from this ship that sunk at the bottom of the Atlantic. Then there we go. But then he's saying, you got to see this. And there we go. We see all that happening. So like, bloody hell, what's going on? It's the end of the world. Meanwhile, Julius Levinson apparently lives on a boat, apparently. And he's cooking a steak or whatever. And then he sees, there we go, it's arriving at, I think it's New York. Is it New York? I'm not sure where he is, but it's arriving wherever he is. And all the fighters are recalled to Area 51, and Dylan says, "I've got to go. I'll meet you there. I've got to go and check on somebody," which is his mother. So they're heading away. Look, they're kind of flying along with the super mothership. Anyway, they're going to head to Area 51 as well. But then he gets a phone call from his dad, and he says it's bigger than the other one, and that is heading away from it. And but anyway, so he goes, "Oh, sweet Moses!" Right. So this is the bit now. 2016, yeah, England was because of Brexit. Yeah, that was 2016, wasn't it, when we voted to leave the European Union? I didn't. I voted to stay in the European Union. But anyway, never mind. Never mind. We'll be back in it within 5 years, I bet. Anyway, never mind. Right, so we're at Washington DC now. Look, we can see the super motherships arrived. There's Jasmine with a doctor's thing. Is she a doctor? I don't know, but she's on the roof. Look, she's got a smoke thing, and she's saying, "Look, come back, save us!" And he sees her there because he's there. He's Dylan, and he calls on his radio. "Look, we've got 2 people. Why is there just them 2 on the roof? What happened to all the other people in the hospital? Did they get away?" But, "No, I've got to save this mother and baby that's on the roof for some reason." But anyway, so saying, they need immediate evac. So I think this is one of the presidential helicopters. I think they're not helicopters now, are they? Because they've got super duper technology. But it looks like a helicopter, but without rotors. Look, I think it's one of them, isn't it? Like Marine One. It is, isn't it? It's one of them, isn't it? Yes, it is, because it's got the presidential seal on. So is the president in there, or have they? No, they've already arrived at Cheyenne Mountain, aren't they? Anyway, so they arrive and get the baby and her on board. But oh no, Jasmine's dangling and pull her up, but then she falls. No, Mom is watching his mother plummet to her death. But I think she survives. In my head canon, she survives. Because if Julius can survive, what happens next? She can survive falling down there. It's a hospital. There's lots of hospital beds. She lands on a big pile of hospital bed mattresses and survives. And she comes back in the 3rd film fine. But she's not working in a hospital anymore. She's moved on to another job. Maybe she's gone back to stripping. I don't know. So anyway. So here it is. It's digging its claws, I suppose, into the earth and causing tsunamis and all that stuff. And look, why did I buy this boat? And somehow Julius survives this. look, he's nearly getting got by a big cargo ship, all the containers on. But he survives it, and we see him in a bit. So if he can survive this, woman Jasmine can survive falling into a collapsing building. As I said, she lands on loads of mattresses. And here we go. This is where the White House was supposed to get destroyed in the original script, but they decided against it. One of the big leg things was supposed to come out and just crush through the White House, but they decided against it. It just gets a bit of debris on it. Even the flag doesn't fall. Look, old glory remains there. Anyway, right. So where are we now? Area 51. President Whitmore's at Area 51. Wish I could remember his name. Anyway, I think America and England should combine. Yes, America should become another county of England, like Yorkshire and like Devon and Cornwall. America should be another county. I don't know how many counties we've got. So yes, we should become the 51st state. You should become a county of England. Anyway, right. So Beardy Brit says, I haven't watched this one. Oh, right. Okay. We should really before watching this because I'm going to spoil it. Anyway, they can see Dr. Oaken's writing he's been doing on his bedroom wall or his hospital room wall. All this was actually done by Roland Emmerich. He said he'd go in, when they were doing in between setups and stuff, he'd go in and add a bit more. And we can actually see some Stargate stuff on some of the text that we see later. And that looks a bit like it, doesn't it? A little bit. But anyway. He's saying, where is he? Look, we can see all his writing he's done. Kind of, it reminds me a little bit of, what's his name now? Can't remember his name. The Deep Space Nine when Cisco played, what it Benny Johnson? Doesn't sound right, but it might be. He was in that dream thing, wanted to be writing on that thing. But anyway, whatever. He's not in his room anymore. He's sodded off somewhere as Dr. Oaken, and we're going to see him in a bit. Look, we see he's been doing the symbol, look, and all these other, it turns out this is alien writing, apparently, but they also have number 5 there. But look there, we go, there's a symbol for Earth or whatever, maybe nearly. Look, Stargate symbols, and me. And if the Goa'uld have come across these. Gap in my education. Gap. Education. Oh dear. Right, so here he is. He's wandering through the halls. So I'm guessing there's not much security at Area 51 now. Just somebody in hospital gown with his bag of, what do you call it, drip stuff. And just wander about. Get to top secret locations. Anyway, they're coming to see the aliens all freaking out. The alien prisoners, they're all freaking out. And it sounds like they're screaming, but Dr. Oaken says they're not screaming, they're celebrating. There you go. Says they're celebrating because they know she's coming. Anyway, one of the prison cells is taken out and opened up, and they said, where's the president gone? He was here a minute ago. I think he went in there. So that's why he's saying, get the weapons. So the president's going to shut himself in a room with an alien to use himself so they can find out what the plan is. They can question the alien. So this is what's going to happen here. So it grabs hold of him, does the alien. There it is. And there. She is all. This is where we learn that there's a queen. She is all. And so there we go. So they have a little bit of a fight with it, and they shoot it, and they don't do very well. And it grabs hold. I missed a bit. It grabs hold of a gun. It grabs a gun off somebody. Here we go with its tentacle. There we go. Grabs his gun, starts taking people out, and but thankfully, Umbutu. I'm sure it is. Anyway, Windows 98. He slides underneath and gets it from behind, as he said before they were going to, if it shows it. There we go. Gets it from behind, and it comes out of its... Remember, these are biomechanical suits out there, and the alien is inside, and out it comes. Birthed upon the earth, and then he kills that. Chops its head off. Oh, it's all right. It's fine. It's an alien. And he's still not dead. Still not dead. He still survived again. There we go. He's going to get to hospital. Right, where are we now? We meet this family. Again, I can't remember the names. I think she's called Sam, is the last that's driving this car, if it shows. I've seen her in something else, and I've looked, and I can't find anything that I know. But she's called, there you go, Joey King. And I've looked on IMDb. I'll probably find it now. But there was nothing that stuck out that I remember seeing. Bullet Train, I've seen that, but I don't remember her in that. Or maybe I do, but I don't. What else? Nothing's jumping out at me. Not that I've seen. So this must be the only thing I've seen her in. Have I seen Slender Man? I might have done. I can't remember. That's a horror film, isn't it? That might be where I know her from. But nothing else is jumping out at me. I've not seen Wish Upon. No. I don't know. She's got one of them faces that I know. Oh, The Conjuring. That's what I've seen her in. Yes, you were in The Conjuring. I knew I'd seen her face somewhere else. Anyway, yes, The Conjuring. That's where I know her from. So there is one queen or many. It says there's many, doesn't it? It says there's many. Because it says at the end, well, we'll get there, won't we? That when they leave, the ship leaves, it goes back, to the other harvester queens. Was she in Deadpool? Oh, right. I didn't notice that. I can't remember. I'm not getting it up again. Anyway, right. So we learned that their parents may be dead. We don't know. But they've escaped from wherever they've come from. But they find Julius. There he is. There's his boat. And he's somewhere on here. Is he on that chair? There he is. Look, he's on that chair. Somehow. I don't know how did he get on that chair. I mean, he wasn't on that chair, was he? I'm sure he was stood up. Anyway. But he survived, and they go out and get him. And he says he's just unconscious. I think he's just knocked out. So they bundle him in the car, and off they go. So if he survived that, bloody Jasmine can survive in my book. Right, so they've got this thing that they found on the moon from that other alien ship that they shot down. And they're going to try and get into it. So Dr. Oaken, who's still in his hospital gown, showing all his bum and everything, is going to get his big laser that he's invented. Look, he says, we need to cut this open. Anyway, he tells him, I should get you some clothes on. He says, why do you tell me my butt was hanging out? Should have noticed, mate. Right, so they've got some scans somehow of the mothership, and each of these dots is an alien. And then they see in the middle there's a big blob, which is the queen, who was a lot bigger, and she is a lot bigger. She is all, and then we're going to call her a queen because it's a hive mind. There's the president watching in from NORAD. Anyway, so they're drilling into the earth again. There we go. They're drilling into the earth, and so they're saying they're after the molten core, and they've got to find a way to stop it because if they get the core, the earth's doomed. Anyway, he's unconscious in hospital. Jake's with Patricia, all in love and everything. Usher's not happy. Sorry, Dylan. Just seen his mother die, so he's not happy. Oh, there we see a photo. Look of them all together. Look, bless him. So he's in this film after all, although we did see another portrait of him earlier on at the beginning. But so he had some words, I'm sorry, I know it hurts and all that stuff, but we need you to lead us now because we're going to go and take on this mothership. Going to send all us fighters and bombers to go and take it out. So he's going to explain his General Adams that they're going to send loads of fighters up and bombers with cold fusion bombs. I don't know if that's a thing, but anyway, that's what they're going to do. I did try looking it up, and it just said there's no such thing. So that's what they're going to do. They're going to fire cold fusion bombs at it. So that's what their plan is. Off they go. They have a kiss. Off he goes to his doom, probably. Off they way. Look, there they go. Wow, look at all them planes and stuff. So he's fed up now, is Floyd. And I think is this where he says, I want you to give me one of your katanas and teach me how to fight. Is this that bit? There we go. And he just ignores him. He says, fine, I'll work it out for myself. And he does, because he kind of becomes a hero. There's Floyd in this. But it reminds me, it does remind me a bit of the fella from Moonfall. I can't remember his name, but he's the way he is, with his glasses and black hair, reminds me of him. Here they are, look, they're drilling into the earth, I presume at the Mid-Atlantic Ridge. But that's why this ship is here from earlier on. Just there, right next to it. It could be miles and miles away. It could be way over the horizon for all we know. But anyway. But they think it's the end of the world, so they're getting drunk. But then they're on the radio, He said they're drilling to the Earth's core, and the U.S. government wants us to monitor it. And he says, okay, for $100 million. And he says, okay. He says, I'll tell them we'll do it for $100 million. They say it's a deal. So, right, fair enough. So they're going to monitor the drilling to the Earth's core. Meanwhile, these are all driving about. Don't know where they're going. I think they're heading towards Area 51 roughly as well. I don't know where they are now. But he wakes up and... so he's basically going to adopt all these kids as Julius. But anyway. So she's looking at Dr. Oaken's writing and she's taking some pictures and stuff of it. And she's going to show it to Mr. Umbutu in a bit. Anyway, so here he is. He's got his big laser. He developed a big laser. So he's going to try and get through it with his laser. Hang on. Is it his laser now? Oh, no, he's not using that yet. He's using a big saw. And then he's going to get his laser afterwards. Right, so they're headed for the mothership. He's going to try and take it out. There we go. His big laser. Is it an alien laser? No, it's an Oaken laser. So that's what we're going to use to cut that thing open. Anyway, right, so they're heading to the mothership and they're going to fly inside. Like Return of the Jedi, I'm guessing. They're going to fly inside and, as they use the cold fusion bombs and take out the Queen. Because they think if they take out the Queen, maybe it'll stop all the others and stuff. But obviously the aliens send out their fighters. They've got new fighters in this that are different to the ones from the first film. But look, it's all kicking off, look. And but we can shoot them as well now in this. They don't. If they have shields, our weapons can get through them. I think they can anyway. But the big ship has its shield and they can't get through that. But they do somehow. I don't know. But something happens and they fly inside. I don't know why the shield's gone down. Does it say? Look, in the go, look. What do they do? Just says, look, we're dropping like flies. We can't get to the top of the ship. We're dropping like flies. I think we need to fly inside. How? He's got a shield. Never mind. They're going inside. Like I say, it's like Return of the Jedi. So in they go, flying inside. And so why aren't they following us? Because stuff's going to happen. But they get inside and the Queen does something. And there we go. She releases some electromagnetic pulse or something. But they're getting ready, look. And then, hang on, where are we? It's a trap. Look, that happens. And all the power cuts out. So basically, their planes are crashing now, and they lose contact with them. So they think they're all dead, or them brave pilots, they think they're all dead. Oh, and they also send out these flying devices that connect to the bombs and put a shield around each bomb. That's what they do. And then when they detonate the bombs, the explosions are contained, look, within those shields. And I presume seeing this is what gives David Levinson, his big idea for this film. Why can't you just do another virus like the first film? Yes, they set them up, I suppose they did. So them cold fusion bombs have done nothing. And I think that's the last thing. The bombs are contained by an energy shield, and then they lose contact with them. There we go, we've lost the signal. And then sends out another pulse, which takes out all the satellites in orbit. Look, so there's no satellite communications. So I'm guessing they're not bothered. Well, there's just one big mothership now, isn't there? There's not loads of motherships dotted around the Earth that needed our satellites to communicate. There's just one big mothership now, isn't there? That's just sat on the Earth. Anyway, so they think all them people are lost, so they've got to find another way to destroy them. But the mothership's basically destroying, invading Cheyenne Mountain. So here they come. And here come the aliens. There will be no peace, she says. And then they start shooting. And they were supposed to get grabbed here. I think this fella, or maybe one of the others, maybe I don't know. One of the men and the president, they grabbed them too and take them to the Queen, but they didn't bother with that. Oh no! And it just ends. I think we just get NORAD has gone or whatever. Right, so here he is with his Oaken laser. Here we go. So where it's saying it. Look, where are we? 7% made it back to base, and then Cheyenne Mountain is gone. All members of the presidential line of succession are presumed dead. I thought you'd think they'd take them to different places, wouldn't you? Not just shove them all in one place. But anyway, so he's going to be president now. He's General Adams. So they're going to swear him in now and get it done with. So he's the president now. He's woke up, by the way, as Whitmore. But look, she's saying we're not going to beat them this time. But don't worry, everything will be fine. She's all sad. There we go. Because they think they're all going to die. So he says, pull over, I'll drive a bit. I think they want to delete a scene there as well. Oh, where are we? Back there, where a bit more getting to know each other with Julius and Sam and all that. She has a little bit of a cry and all that stuff, and he goes and comforts her and all that stuff. And she says, "You'd have made a great granddad," because he never wanted, they never had kids, did they? David and Constance. So he never became a grandfather. So she's in deleted scene. She tells him he'd make a great granddad, which were kind of nice. And I don't know why they cut that out, but anyway, never mind. Right, so they're having a little chat, wondering what they can do. He has another little speech saying that it's all worth fighting for, and we can't let the people that have died already, we can't let them down, and all that stuff. People that have sacrificed, we should fight till our last breath. I'm doing another speech. I wonder if they're recording this one as well. Don't know. For using the third film. Right, so meanwhile, whatever she's called, I can never remember her bloody name. What's she called? Where are you, Charlotte? Catherine Marceau. She's gone to see Umbutu to ask him about the writing that what's his face has done, Oaken, and he can't. He just reads it out. This talks about an intergalactic war. There we go. And then we see more Stargate symbols, and how we learn to. How did he learn? Oh, yes, you said, didn't you, Justin, that when it connected with him, it taught him how to read their language. But the circle, I said, they thought the circle meant fear to the harvesters, but he says it's enemy as well. So their enemy is our ally. Anyway, so he manages to cut through, and then this ball rolls out. There it comes. And this is I don't know what it's called. This thing. Do they give it a name? Let's have a look. Because it has a voice. Let's it's just called a sphere. Because voice of sphere is Jenna Purdy, that we hear in a bit, who was one of Roland Emmerich's assistants. And she they got her and somebody else, I think, to do temporary voice for it. And they're going to get somebody else in, a famous actress or whatever, to do the voice. But they actually fell in love with Jenna Purdy's voice. And she does have a nice voice, I must admit. So she does the voice of the sphere. But anyway, so there it is. It's looking at Dr. Oaken, and they activate it in a bit. Meanwhile, inside the mothership, that's it. It's got all fields and stuff. It's got its own ecosystem in there. The aliens, the harvesters, are basically mopping up the pilots and stuff that have bailed out. So there's Jake. He were in does it show it? There we go. He were up I don't know, caught on something with his parachute and nearly gets got. Look, so Jake, get out of the way. So they hide under the water. There's Jake and Dylan, and as the aliens walk by, not noticing them. There they are. Are they going to get back up? There we go. They shot this in I think he said like a 30-foot pool. All the watery scenes here were just shot in the same 30-foot pool. That's what they did there. Right, so it's not giving us any kind of signal. They don't know what. And then he goes and touches it. Does Floyd? Is it Floyd? You know what I'm like. And his hand sinks into it. He can't let go. Is it showing it? Is it showing it? His hand just sinks in. There we go. His hand sinks into it and it all activates. And when it does that, the Queen, she has a conniption fit. There we go. That thing comes on. And so it knows where it is, look. So she's going to head over there because she's got her own destroyer attached to the mothership. So she's going to deploy that in a minute. There we go. They're watching from there now. This is her mothership's going to fly off. Look. Ooh, look. There it goes. And heads off towards Area 51 with lots of fighters escorting her. They're wondering what's going on with this. Is it friend or foe? But and there we go. Then we hear a voice. And, lovely voice she's got.
Speaks in English.
I deconstructed your primitive language.
Anyway, we learn, there we go, that her species started off as, biological, but then turned into essentially AI. But the harvesters attacked them, and then it doesn't make any sense after that. So I came to evacuate as many of you as possible because they've got a secret planet where she's helping refugees fight against the harvesters. And I thought, well, how? Because the harvesters destroyed her world. Because she says, talking about what they're doing with the molten core to refuel their ships. And then go, my system holds the key to superior technology. And there we go. And there is a hidden planet where I teach refugees from other fallen worlds. And she's the only ship. She's a ship. Her ship is the only one that were left. Does it say? There we go. We fought them for thousands of years, but they destroyed all of our ships. And I'm the only one left. I'm the sole survivor. So how's she going to stop them? They were fighting for thousands of years, and then they were wiped out. Apart from her, how can she do? Anyway, but don't overthink it. She can help us in the sphere. Anyway, she's coming. We learned that nobody has ever killed a harvester queen. So we're going to be the first. So that's what I think we're going to use. So David has an idea. They're going to use the signal, because obviously it's picked up after the sphere became activated. The queen picked up on the signal and is now homing in on them. So David says, why don't we use that signal? We'll use a fake version of that signal. We'll hide the sphere in Area 51 with a dampening field around it or whatever. And we'll use that signal, a fake one, to lure the queen in, and then we'll blow her up with some fusion bombs. Justy says, man, I want the part 3. I'm afraid it's probably not going to happen, is it? You never know, though. Should have done it this year, shouldn't they? They should do it in 2036. That'd be another 20 years, won't it? We'll see. So that's what they're going to do. There we go, on about the signal. There we go. If we hide the sphere in the isolation chamber, the queen won't pick up on its signal. We'll use a fake signal to lure her in. It will fly a thing in, what they call it, a tug with some fusion bombs and blow it to smithereens, and that'll be the end of her. So that's what the plan is. And he says Also, when the fusion bombs go up, it'll destroy everything from here to Boston or wherever he says, or Los Angeles, I don't know. Destroy a lot of stuff. He says, oh, well, we'll use the shield generators. Why have they got shield generators all of a sudden? What about the rest of the time when they could have done with them? But we're going to use that to contain the explosion. Have another drink of water. I think they're using. Hang on, where are we? This what is it? A radar thing. I don't know what this is for, to be honest. I don't know. They found this truck here, old radar truck. I'm not sure. Is this supposed to be generating the fake signal? I'm not entirely certain. Or that just I don't know. If they're using it for something else. I don't know. Because all the power's going to go out soon when the ship arrives. On that other ship that's monitoring the drilling, they found a shortwave radio so they can get in contact with Area 51. But and they find out that they thought they had 6 hours until, it says 7 there, but they thought they had 6 hours until it hit the molten core, but they're drilling faster than expected. They've only got an hour now. Oh, bloody hell. So he tells them. They tell him. There we go. Decoy transmitter. Blah, blah, blah. Somebody's got to make the ultimate sacrifice. And I think Whitmore's daughter volunteers there because she says, I'll fly it in. Anyway. So he's come out. He's had a shave. Look, he's had a shave. He says, I'm going to do it. This is my job. And she says, no, you're not doing it. And she says, I'm doing it. And then he walks off as the president or whatever. And then this fella appears who's the ex-president's aide. And he says, hang on. What does he say? All right, do not, no, we ain't got to that bit yet. I'm getting ahead of myself. She tells it, do not let him get on that tug. Right, where are we now? Is this Las Vegas? Or is it somewhere else? I don't know. It's not too small for Las Vegas, that, isn't it? Is it? I don't know. Anyway, they've arrived wherever they've arrived at. Maybe it's Reno. I don't know. They find a school bus, look. I would think even though they didn't hit the car, the damage getting to it would go. You'd think so, wouldn't you? You'd think so. Is it Reno? All right. Oof, sweating. Anyway, they come across this school bus and the driver's abandoned all these kids. So he's got some more kids to look after. The good driver left us to take a ride to Minnesota. So he's all going to pile in the bus and they're going to head to Area 51. Does he just know how to get there? Because he's been before, hasn't he? But he went by helicopter last time, plane or whatever. He went by plane last time, didn't he? Maybe he's got a sat nav. I don't know. Right, so what's going on here now? Right, radar is operational, and they're going to go out and they're going to do a ring of this thing with a force field. So they're driving out. There we go. They're going to deploy this force field generator or whatever. Generators in a big ring, which I think it means that Area 51 is not protected now, so they've got to have loads of guns and stuff to defend it with which to defend it. And look, he's got a gun now as Floyd and all that. Meanwhile, back on the mothership, these have survived and they're climbing up there. I think they're going to try and steal. Yeah, they're going to try and steal a couple of alien attackers, fighters. And so he says, right, I'm going to distract them then. I'll distract them and you go and get in them fighters. So he goes out and calls up, hello, hello. And there's all the aliens, look, at their little desks. And he has a wee. He says, you killed my parents and I hate you. So I'm just going to stand here and wee on your ship, which he does. There he is. And he gives him the finger as well. There we go. While he's having a wee. I don't know. But anyway, whatever. At least he didn't pull his trousers down and dump, did he? But, so they're distracted by that for some reason. That human's having a wee. So while they're all watching him, they're getting into these fighter things. And he says their technology is just the same, but then he says, "Oh, new interface." So it's not just the same, then, is it? Anyway, right. So some aliens come out, and there we go. Oh, I think he punches it. Does he punch it? Is it this one? Where are we? Where are we? Here it comes. Have I missed it? Is it this one he punches? There we go. It's getting up, and he punches it like Will Smith punched one in the first film, but this one is obviously not as good a puncher as Will Smith, because Will Smith became our lead, didn't he? So Liam Hemsworth didn't. So it's just growls at him, and should have kept running. But anyway, but upshot of it is he gets away, gets into a fighter with Dylan. So they've stolen two fighters, and out they go. Look, they're flying away, but then they get chased by others, aliens. So they're shooting at them, and it's basically like in the first film. They've got to get out, and they're closing the door, and they're gonna get out in time. And just one fighter comes out and says, "Oh no, Jake, did you make it? Did you make? Oh no!" And he's getting all sad, his child. "Oh no, I didn't make it," but then he did. And he says, "You can't do that to me." He says, "Did you miss me?" So they've got out. So now they're heading for Area 51. Somebody's adjusting an aerial there for some reason. Don't know why, but that's what they're doing. Is it the fella? Is this the fella with the old radar truck? I'm guessing it is. Maybe. I don't know. Oh no, I don't know. It's just a bloke, isn't it? The huddle round the radio. Because General Adams is getting on the radio to everybody around the world, basically just saying, "We're going to have a go at saving the world, but if we don't, we're all going to die together," which is obvious. But anyway, he's no President Whitmore. We'll just put it that way. "What we do in the next 12 minutes will define the world," or whatever, define the human race, or finish it. Yeah, well, yeah. But anyway, but we're all humans. Anyway, right, so she's getting ready to do her stuff. And then this fella comes out. Says, "Patricia, something's happened with your father." And he takes her to this other room. There we go. "It's your dad." And he takes her to this other room, but it's a ruse because he's sneaking in. He wants to fly this. It's a suicide mission, which I can't say on YouTube for some weird reason. Because YouTube's stupid. But he asked me as a friend and as a father. So someone just didn't punch him, innit? So she goes running out. But it's too late. He's in the ship and off he goes. Right. They're bombing across the flats, the salt flats to Area 51. And then they hear a noise. And it's the mothership arriving. There they are, bombing across the flats. There we go. We see the shadow of the mothership and the shadow of the fighters going over. "Kids, hold on to your seats." They're ready for the big battle now. Look, here it comes. Oh, no. So it's all going to start shooting. Open fire. Ah, pew, pew, pew. Cool stuff. Bet they wish they had that shield. Anyway, so the mothership shooting at them and blowing them to smithereens and stuff. And they shoot their big gun, their destroyer gun. It doesn't do anything to the mothership. Anyway, right. So they're activating the decoy thing and all that. He wants to talk to the sphere a bit more, and so he's going to learn more about, what the sphere can teach him and new technologies and all that stuff. He says that at the end. Meanwhile, David's here with one of the others by one of the shield generators, and they're getting ready to activate that. And then one of the other fellas says, "There's a school bus heading towards us." And then so David comes out. "There's a tall dangling man." Well, that's a dangling man. Does he mean gangly? It actually says dangling, waving at us over there. And he says, "That's my David." I can tell from that distance, but he does. So he heads towards them. David's looking through binoculars. It was Dad. But anyway, just coincidence. It just happened to be them. Anyway. Right, so he's looking at all this cool stuff. Right, so here it comes, the mothership. There we go. Right, so they're gonna go in and save the world. Oh, yes, that's it. He says, "I'm not gonna save the world. I'm not doing it to save the world. I'm doing it to save you." That's what he says to her in a bit. But anyway, so they're heading in. There he is. He's got in now because she's letting them in because of the signal. It thinks that the sphere is on that, and so he does. He presses the button. He's got all these fusion bombs. Look, so he's sacrificing himself now. We've got you, and he presses the button, and boom! It blows up. Look, oh wow! It blows up the mothership, but it's in the force field. Look, inside the force field. And so they think they've won, all that. Yeah, they've won, but all the fighters are still going around shooting at them. When the Queen dies, they thought all the fighters would just drop out of the sky, but they're not doing. They're still fighting, looking, shooting, and blowing up stuff. So she says, "Why ain't the Queen dead? Why ain't the fighters dropping?" Yes, and also some of the aliens escape. So they've got to deal with aliens inside the base now. Anyway, turns out, look, the Queen's got a shield of her own. She survived the explosion, and now she's coming out now, and she's not happy. Look, and she's got in her own, by the way, I think earlier on it showed her getting in. She's got her own even bigger exosuit, so she's got in that. It showed her getting in it earlier on. So out she comes. They're going to get away in the bus. But the dog. Oh, she's got the dog. Don't worry. She's got the dog. So they're driving off. Anyway, right. Look, they're shooting at her. Look, she's got a shield. But later on, she doesn't have a shield. I don't know. I don't get it. But anyway. They're fighting the aliens in the base. They're trying to escape. They've been shot down. Patricia gets shot down as well. I don't know if she has been yet. No, she does in a minute. I think it's just hits a plane. There we go. Takes the wing off a plane or whatever. There we go. Like that. So she bails out. Just Patricia. There we go. She bails out. I imagine these fighters that they've got. I'll have a name, won't they? But I don't know what it is. Does it say? Or they're just super duper fighters? Does it say on Wikipedia? No, it doesn't say. Bet they're like F976s or something. I don't know. F3000s. Anyway, whatever. Right, so she's gonna go after Patricia now. Look, just out of spite, because Patricia dared to attack the Queen, but luckily they're arriving and they're gonna shoot at the Queen. Look, and she escapes to Patricia. Thank goodness. What did he say? Aim for her gun. All right. Right. So Captain Hiller and the other one, is it Rain Low or whatever she's called? We're in alien fighters. Don't shoot at us. Anyway, the Queen is headed towards the base. So she realizes now that all the power goes down on the base, by the way, which means the isolation room isn't an isolation room anymore, so she can pick up on the signal. So she controls takes control of all the fighters, and they all, says, what's happening? They lose control of the attacker that they're in, and they all form a swarm around the Queen to protect her. There we go. The controls have stopped responding until later on when they need them. But anyway, look, some aliens come in. Look, oh no, they're shooting. But luckily, Floyd arrives with Mr. Windows Vista. And he takes these aliens out. Look, hey, look, he's a hero. Look, yeah, take that. Says, yeah, I told you I could do it. You talk too much. There he goes, says that to him. But look, he says, baby, we're safe, but we see he's been shot. Presumably, he says the aliens got him. I hope it wasn't. Hope it wasn't Floyd that shot him accidentally. You never know. But sadly, he dies here. He points out that last thing he says to him that where are we? Something I've got to tell you. The thing is, the woolen thing he's got round it's like a scarf that he's got round his neck that he knitted for him. So it's supposed to be a sweater. And then he dies. So he's quite sad. So there we go. Right, so what do you want to do? The Queen's, like I said, making her way towards where the sphere is, and they can't get at her because she's got this ring of fighters swarming around her. Look like that. Look, they can't get through, and so they're just watching. And they're going to shoot some more aliens. They've got 2 minutes. 2 minutes before they get to the core of the Earth. What they're going to do? They're just going to fill in that hole when it's done. With a gazillion tons of concrete. I don't know, but anyway. And he says, "Well, we've got to be able to do something. You know, it's like a tornado around us. Every tornado has an eye, right? We've got to get above it. So how are we going to do that? We don't have any manual controls left. So we'll use the fusion drive." I thought, but if there's no controls left, how are they going to do the fusion drive? Turns out that's totally separate. I don't get it. But they're saying that thing is made for outer space. Okie dokie, let's do it. Let's switch on the fusion drive. So that's what they do. Why that's working, I don't know. But it does. I'm too far. Look, and then look, hey, it makes them go up for some reason. Don't know why. It doesn't explain it. But it just does. So they just go straight up until the fusion drive shuts down, and then they just start falling back down again. There we go. So they're going to fall back down, and they're going to shoot at her through that hole, obviously. And that because they get the controls back as well, and weapons somehow. For some reason, I don't know why. It just happens. Doesn't explain it. So there we go. They're shooting at the Queen. There they are. And he says, "Shoot at the tentacles at her back," because it must have seen something with Umbutu earlier on saying get him from behind. Maybe, I can't remember. But he knows, look, shoot her from behind. And that does the trick. Look, she's getting got. And they keep shooting. And there she comes. Look, her suit's opened up and she's hanging out of it now. By the way, she broke into where the sphere was and she picked it up and she's carrying it in her hand now there. There's the bus. And she's going to die now. They're going to put the bus in reverse. And, I missed it. Skips too far, doesn't it? There we go. Down she goes. Squelch. But it's all CG. All CG, this. Even this bit is CG. This CG slime. Why could just get a school bus put some slime on it? No, they'd just spend probably $100,000 on the CG slime scene. Whatever. Anyway, so there we go. That's it. Sorted. She's dead. And the drilling stops as well. That shuts down. Look. I presume it fills with water now, that hole. But anyway. And the big ship leaves, the super mothership leaves. So I'm guessing somebody else has taken control of the mothership, super mothership, and off it goes. Look, they're all cheering, yay! Then all the fighters just start falling out of the sky. So I'll be like, oh heck. Nobody seems bothered that all these ships are just falling out of the sky and exploding all over the place. Everybody seems fine with it. But and there's a poor sphere there in the middle of it all. They're not bothered, look. She comes across. They crashed, by the way, after they took out the Queen. They shot their way through the tornado of attackers. Did Dylan and the others, and their two planes, call planes, and they crashed. They said, "Have you got ejector seats?" No, so they're just crashing. And she's coming across one, and she must think there's an alien coming out because she shoots at it. Just shoots at the ship, and then he goes, "Baby, put the gun down." Oh, so she goes and leaps onto him. Whee! So they have a kiss and a cuddle, save the world, and all that stuff. And he says to Rain, "Maybe we should try that." And she says, "Dinner first," and smiles. There we go. Dinner first. So okie dokie. Right, so everybody's celebrating and all that stuff. And Julius says, "Maybe you should stay with me for a while. I'd like that." So he's going to look after a school bus full of kids. Or does it just mean this one family? I don't know. But where's he going to stay with them? I don't know. Does he have a house? He lived on a boat, didn't he? I have no idea. Anyway, look, there it is. And she says that the sphere says that humans are amazing, not so primitive after all. And they're going to wants us to lead the fight against the harvesters, because obviously we're the only ones that have killed the harvester queen, because super duper clever us. He says, "You have the heart of a warrior," to Floyd. And he says, "That's the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me." So anyway, so everybody's happy, and there we go. The big super mothership's leaving. Look, Paris is fine. Bloody Eiffel Tower. I thought it was contractually obligated that Paris got destroyed in every disaster movie. Not this one. Bloody London caught for it, didn't it? Anyway, the mothership's going. Look, it's leaving. Look. That's the Earth had been knackered, wasn't it? Because it's displaced all the atmosphere and everything, and it's just ruined. But anyway, off it goes to the other harvester queens. It does say that somewhere. I don't know. David says, "I don't know if this planet could survive another attack." But he says it's going to give us loads of weapons and technology to fight the harvesters. But I thought, well, what can it give you? They've been fighting them for thousands of years and they got wiped out. But anyway, also says to lead their resistance, give us interstellar travel, and we're going to kick some alien ass. There we go. We're going to kick some serious alien ass. Din, 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 din. Then the film ends. There we go. It's a lot of fun. Not as good as the first one, unless you call Justin, I think, because he likes this one more. But there we go. That's the end of Independence Day Resurgence, which is not as bad as everybody makes it out to be. Beardy Brit says, "Lol." But it is a lot of fun, and it looks like everybody or most people had fun making it, even though it would be blue screens everywhere. It means it's probably easy. Not a lot of location shooting, was there? So I need to go watch it. I imagine it's links in the description for where you can watch it. It's on Amazon and all that, isn't it? Or you can get the Blu-ray like I've got. I'll get rid of that now, can't I? Get rid of that now, because I don't think there's alt at the end. Let me just double check. I don't think there's no, there isn't. No after credits scene. Never mind. Where were we? Pardon me. But yeah, it is a fun film. And Justin wants them to make part 3. To be honest, so do I. I wouldn't mind it. They should do a TV series, to act as part 3. That's what they should do. But do Stargate first. Anyway, never mind. So yeah, I don't know why it got so much hate, because it's not that bad. It's not the best film ever made. It's not the worst film ever made either. There's a lot worse stuff out there. Genuinely is. Sorry, I'm just sorting out my computer. There we go. Biddy Britt says, yes, Stargate first. Give it back to Martin Guerrero. Don't get me going. I spent like half my day on Twitter doing hashtag Save Stargate and reposting and liking tweets. But anyway, that's by the by. Right, so there we go. So yes, go and watch Independence Day Resurgence. Watch the first one first, obviously, and then watch Independence Day Resurgence. It's a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun. I think it is anyway. Right, so what's coming up next? I can't remember. I've forgotten what film I've picked for Friday. Have I got it out? Oh, I haven't. What film have I picked for Friday? Can't remember. Oh, yes, I can remember. I've got it out. Where have I put it? Oh, there it is. There it is. There it is. So on Friday, for Friday Night Appointment with Fear, we're doing Insidious, The Last Key. Where are we? Insidious, The Last Key. The last good Insidious film, in my opinion. Because Insidious, The Red Door, which came after this, bloody awful. So that's on Friday. Justin says, good movie, fun. Yes, it is. It just felt darker, more edgy. I don't know. The stakes were a bit higher, weren't they? Really, to be honest, because they were, the Earth were going to be destroyed. They were not just invaded; it was going to be destroyed, wasn't it? By the drilling and that. So it did have that peril going for it. But yeah. It is a good film. I do enjoy it. Not the best film ever made, but fun. And next Monday, when I get around to setting it up, we're going to do Universal Soldier, another Roland Emmerich film. I think this is his second film. I think he did Moon 44, didn't he? Then I think he did Universal Soldier with Jean-Claude Van Damme and I can never remember his name. Dolph Lundgren. Another fun film. And I bet he does the splits. I bet he does the splits in it at some point. But there we go. Right. Yes, Van Damme. Go and watch Bloodsport. I love that film. But anyway. Justin says, I think because Will Smith was not in it and other things. Yeah, that's why it didn't do as well. He wanted to be in it, but like I said, he was doing Suicide Squad instead, so he couldn't do it. I'm sure I saw an interview where he said, he'd have loved to have done it, but anyway, never mind. And I think also his fee were too high, I think, for what the producers expected, but he couldn't have done it anyway because of the timing of Suicide Squad. But anyway, anything else? Wednesday, I'm not sure what I'm doing Wednesday. I am making my way through Star Trek Voyager Season 5. So with a bit of luck, maybe by Wednesday I'll have finished it and we can do Star Trek Voyager Season 5. My thoughts on every episode. Maybe. We will see. If not, I'll think of something else. Right, so we'll leave it there. So thanks, Justin and Beardy Brits. Oh, hang on, that's what I'm going to do. Hang on, I've just remembered what I'm going to do. Hang on, get sorted. Some member gifting, if it'll let me. Why won't it let me? No, I can't do it from here, can I? I've got to do it from another window. Where are we? There's a new Insidious coming out soon also. Is there? I didn't know that. Did I? No, I don't think I did. I don't think I knew that. All right. I hope it's better than the Red Door, because that was bloody awful. Just let me mute this tab and go to my channel. I'm going to gift some memberships, because I haven't done that for a while, have we? Right. I've got to open up a new window. I can't do it from thingy. Right, here we go. Membership gifting. There we go. I'm not going to do a load. I'll do 5. I'll gift 5 memberships. So we'll see who gets a free membership. Not that it's worth anything. Not that it's worth anything. Come on, you're going to do it then, or what? I'm just getting a little circle spinning. There we go. Has it done it? Has it done it? Yes, here we go. So, Utah Ranners, gift membership, Jerome Isaac, William Barr, John David Sullivan, and Archmage Frey. What's Archmage Frey got a bloody gift membership for? Anyway, so there we go. Those 5 people have been given a free gifted membership for a month. And then if you want to carry on, you can do. If not, whatever. Fair enough. Right. Done and dusted. We'll leave it there. What time is it? Bloody hell, it's 12:15. Unbelievable. Right, so we'll leave it there. So, thank you, Justin and Beardy Brits and Keith. We had in Keith earlier on, didn't we? From from his own stuff, I suppose. But I know Keith from Retro Nerd Girls channel. That's where I know Keith from. So go and subscribe to Retro Nerd Girl. Anybody else pop in? I don't think we did we? Anyway, so there we go. So thank you for keeping me company while I waffle on about Independence Day Resurgence. Any chats on Rumble? Nah, never is. Never is. But right, so we'll leave it there. So hang on, let me get sorted out first. There we go. So thanks for watching. Wherever you are, look after each other, and until next time, I'll say I subscribe to Beardy Brits as well for his dad joke of the day.